You become what you believe. There is a silent force shaping every moment of your life. It cannot be seen. It cannot be touched. Most people never even recognize it. Yet it determines the quality of their decisions, the size of their dreams, the strength of their actions, and ultimately the destiny they create. That force is belief. Long before a building rises into the sky, it exists in the mind of an architect. Long before a tree breaks through the soil, it exists as a seed hidden beneath the earth. Long before success appears in your life, it exists as a belief planted deep within your consciousness. The tragedy is that many people spend their entire lives watering the wrong seeds. They believe they are not talented enough. They believe they started too late. They believe opportunities belong to someone else. They believe success is reserved for the lucky, the connected, the gifted, or the chosen. And because they believe it, they live it. Not because it is true, because they accepted it as truth. Every prison that confines a human being is built twice. First in the mind, then in reality. The moment you understand this, your life begins to change. Because if belief can create limitation, belief can also create freedom. If belief can create weakness, belief can create power. If belief can create fear, belief can create courage. You become what you believe. Look through history and you will find this principle hidden inside every extraordinary achievement. When Thomas Edison was told thousands of times that he had failed, he refused to believe failure was final. When Henry Ford declared that an affordable automobile could be built for ordinary people, experts laughed. When Walt Disney was fired because someone believed he lacked imagination, he continued to believe in a vision nobody else could see. The world always calls belief unrealistic before it calls it genius. That is because belief allows a person to see tomorrow while everyone else is trapped inside today. The average person waits for evidence before they believe. The exceptional person believes before evidence arrives. And that difference changes everything. Most people live like ships without a destination. They drift wherever the current takes them. One day they feel motivated. The next day they feel defeated. One week they dream. The next week they surrender. They are controlled by circumstances because they never learned to control their minds. But the moment a person chooses a destination, something remarkable happens. Their thoughts begin organizing themselves around a purpose. Their attention sharpens. Their energy focuses. Their actions gain direction. What once appeared impossible slowly becomes achievable. Because a focused mind is one of the most powerful forces in existence. Think about sunlight. Spread across an entire field, it warms the earth. Focused through a magnifying glass, it can start a fire. Human potential works the same way. Scattered thoughts create average results. Focused thoughts create extraordinary outcomes. The question is not whether you have power. The question is where your power is directed. Most people spend years focusing on what they fear. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I lose? What if I am not enough? Without realizing it, they become architects of the very future they hope to avoid. Fear becomes their compass. Doubt becomes their guide. Limitation becomes their reality. Yet every great achievement begins with a different question. What if I succeed? What if this works? What if I am capable of far more than I realize? What if my greatest chapter has not been written yet? Those questions create possibility, and possibility creates movement. The human mind is extraordinary because it cannot consistently move toward an image, while simultaneously believing the image is impossible. Eventually, belief wins. If you believe something can happen, your mind begins searching for ways. If you believe something cannot happen, your mind begins searching for excuses. The evidence follows the expectation. This is why two people can face the same challenge and produce completely different outcomes. One sees obstacles, the other sees opportunities. One sees reasons to quit, the other sees reasons to continue. One sees temporary defeat, the other sees valuable lessons. The difference is not intelligence. The difference is belief, and belief influences action. Action influences results. Results reinforce belief, until eventually a cycle is created. Most people are trapped inside negative cycles they never consciously chose. Years of criticism become self-doubt. Years of failure become fear. Years of disappointment become hesitation. And slowly they begin shrinking their dreams to fit their fears. But your future does not have to resemble your past. The greatest power you possess is the ability to choose a new belief. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. The moment Abraham Lincoln suffered defeat after defeat, he could have concluded that failure defined him. Instead, he chose a different belief. The moment countless inventors faced rejection, they could have accepted defeat. Instead, they chose persistence. The moment every visionary was misunderstood, they could have abandoned their mission. Instead, they chose faith. Faith is not believing because you can already see the path. Faith is continuing because you believe the path will appear. That is the difference. Anyone can move forward when certainty exists. The extraordinary continue moving when certainty disappears, because they understand that every worthwhile destination contains stretches of darkness. There will be moments when results are invisible, moments when progress feels slow, moments when doubt whispers louder than confidence. And yet those moments are often where transformation begins. A diamond forms under pressure. Steel is strengthened by fire. Character is developed through resistance. The strongest version of yourself is not created during comfort. It is created when life demands more from you than you thought you could give, and you decide to give more anyway.